In our last breakdown, we secured the Homefront, comparing the modern AR platform against the lever action for home and perimeter defense. That covers the primary firearm for your property. But the mission profile changes the moment you step off your land. You leave the controlled environment of the home and enter the public space. We need to talk about the EDC gun that stays on you when you step out the door. Right now, there is a persistent form of gatekeeping in the gun community regarding that tool. It establishes a rigid, unquestioned baseline. The 9mm is the absolute floor for self-defense. The narrative is simple. If you carry anything smaller than a 9, you aren't taking your safety seriously. For a long time, I respected that rule. I carried one of the dominant pistols in the micro-compact space. I ran the Springfield Hellcat Pro. And let's be clear, the 9mm is the professional standard for duty use for a reason. If I were acting in a duty capacity, engaging a threat through a windshield, or taking shots at distance across a parking lot, the 9mm is the correct tool for that mission. But we need to have a hard conversation about mission profile. We are not clearing structures. We are not engaging suspects at 25 yards. We are civilians. Our objective is to break contact and protect our family from a reactive posture. And in that specific mission profile, the biggest enemy isn't caliber. It is consistency. We talk about ballistics constantly, but we ignore the tactical reality of daily life. Comfort is not about being soft. Comfort is a compliance metric. Because if a weapon fights you, if it digs into your hip when you get in the car or snags when you pick up your kids, you start to compromise. You start locking it in the center console when you run into the store. Or worse, you leave it in the safe at home because you just want to wear gym shorts and a tank top without dressing around a rigid gun belt. And an uncomfortable carry gun locked in your vehicle is tactically useless when the threat is standing 3 feet in front of you. But let's address the elephant in the room: stopping power. We need to be intellectually honest here. There are countless gel tests and videos proving that the 9mm creates a larger wound cavity. It dumps more energy. It creates more hydrostatic shock. I am not denying physics. The 9mm is a more devastating round. But more devastating does not mean more effective at stopping a threat. We need to distinguish between destruction and incapacitation. A threat stops when you physically damage a vital structure: the central nervous system, the heart, or major vascularity. The goal isn't to create the biggest explosion. The goal is to flip the off switch. The question isn't, is the 380 as powerful as the 9? The question is, does the 380 cross the threshold required to reach those vitals? And the data says yes. The most famous study on this comes from Greg Ellifritz, who analyzed over 1,800 shootings. His data showed that even with older ammunition technology, the 380 was roughly 95% as effective as the 9mm in stopping a fight. And today, with modern ammunition, that reliability is even higher. If a modern 380 projectile penetrates 14 inches and strikes the heart, the biological result is a stopped threat. The organ does not know how much energy was dumped. It only knows it has been destroyed.
In real-world shootings, the 380 actually had a slightly higher accuracy rate for head and torso hits than the 9mm. Why? Because lower recoil means faster, more controlled follow-up shots. You can't miss fast enough to win a gunfight. So, if you are ready to make the switch for deep concealment, what are the best platforms on the market? For me, the winner is still the Ruger LCP Max. This was my choice because it is the smallest, lightest option that still offers legitimate capacity. It holds 10+1 rounds, has decent sights, and disappears in gym shorts. It is not a fun range toy, but it is the ultimate always-on-you gun. Now, there is another contender that is arguably the king of the hill right now, the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. By all accounts, this pistol has revolutionized the Micro 380 ergonomics. Unfortunately for me, it is not on the California handgun roster, so I cannot pick one up. If you are in a free state and have one, let me know in the comments how it runs. I want to know what I am missing. However, if you are interested in the 380 cartridge, but want a slightly larger footprint for better control, both Sig Sauer and Springfield have released new 380 models for their P365 and Hellcat platforms. These give you a full firing grip and virtually zero recoil because of the larger mass. But be aware, you lose the deep concealment pocketability of the true micro compacts. Now, to trust my life to a smaller caliber, ammunition selection is critical. To make this system viable, I rely on two specific loads that consistently meet the FBI penetration standard of 12 to 18 inches. First is the Underwood Xtreme Defender. This uses a fluted, monolithic copper projectile. It doesn't rely on expansion, it relies on fluid displacement. It is barrier blind. In independent gel tests, this round is basically a drill bit, consistently penetrating 16 to 18 inches deep, regardless of whether it hits denim or heavy jackets first. If you prefer expanding rounds, the Federal Hydra-Shok Deep is the industry standard. It is the first 380 load specifically engineered to pass the FBI Heavy Clothing Protocol. In testing, it reliably expands and penetrates to a perfect 13 to 14 inches, hitting that vital sweet spot without over-penetrating. I haven't retired my 9mm, but I have stopped pretending that I need a duty round just to go about my daily life. Rule number one of a gunfight is, have a gun. The transition to a true pocket pistol made strategic sense for my lifestyle. But I understand if it doesn't fit your parameters. In the end, we all have to run the setup that we are comfortable staking our lives on. My goal is just to open your eyes to viable alternatives. It is simply about removing the variables and ensuring you always have the means to defend yourself, regardless of the circumstances. I have put links to these specific ammunition loads in the pinned comment below so you can find them easily. Let me know in the comments, is deep concealment a gap in your current setup, or do you stick to the service pistol regardless of the dress code? Stay safe.